So today we're going to find out if there's a point in buying expensive catch cans. Is it worth it to spend money on brand name catch cans? To be honest, I have no clue, which is why I'm doing this little experiment on my own car. This is a Amazon catch cans, believe it or not. Before I bought this catch can, I was actually contemplating of buying a Mishimoto catch can, which is in Canadian on ebay.ca is about $175 plus tax. Almost $200 for a catch can. There's probably a million people out there that know like way more about catch cans than me, but for the average Joe, $175 for a catch can to me makes no sense. But I'm not an advocate for cheap parts. I learned the hard way from buying cheap intakes from eBay. At the same time, I can't justify spending almost $200 on a catch can, or something like a catch can. Before pulling the trigger on the Amazon catch can, I actually was doing some research and I found another company called Add1. That one's around 110 Canadian. This is all on ebay.ca, by the way. I'm not sure. You probably could get it cheaper in the States. Everything is cheaper in the States in terms of cars. But again, I just couldn't see the point of spending that much money on something like this, right? And I compared the design of the Amazon one versus the Add1 one, and they looked literally exactly the same. The same dipstick, the same material, the same look, heck, even the same color options. And this one actually had very good reviews on Amazon, and it was only for $50. So I thought I would give it a shot before I would even recommend anything. I'll try it on my own car, give my own results and decide from there. By the way, this is a universal catch can, so it's supposed to fit on every car. The car that I'm going to be installing on is my Genesis Coupe. It's a 2-liter turbo, as you've seen it before on the channel. I haven't been really huge on catch cans ever since I heard about them, but I did get a tune on my car recently, and I thought it'd be a good time to get one of these bad boys installed. So there's a few things you'll need to get before you get started. Most of the stuff is already in the kit, but the hose that comes with the kit is trash. Even with the Mishimoto ones, I heard a few people that got the hose with it and they didn't actually use it because the one they supplied is just terrible. So you're better off just going to your local parts store and grabbing one of these instead of using the stock hose, just in case if you want to go back to your stock setup. Don't forget your plumber tape or Teflon tape, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to get started, get it all set up, and then show you guys in the end. Okay, so it's the next day now. I didn't actually install it yesterday because it was kind of getting dark and the camera is not really good at low light. And also I ran into another issue. Since I have my blow off switched to the cold side, the spot where usually people would put the catch can for this car is blocked off. I can kind of wiggle it in, but I'm not sure if it would be the smartest idea because once everything's said and done and set up, it's gonna be really tight fit. So I went to Home Depot and got some brackets here, trying to figure out a different spot where to set it up. So this is what I was talking about earlier. This is the spot where people usually put their catch cans, mounted to this bolt right here, but because of the blow-off location on the cold side, it's gonna be a really tight fit. I'll try and put it somewhere else. If I really have to, I'll try and wiggle it in here. I am gonna try and figure out maybe put it on the strut. I did hear if you do put it too far away, it kind of defeats the purpose, but I've seen some people put it on the strut. I've seen some people kind of zip tie it to this coolant right here, which I'm not really comfortable with. All right, after some trial and error, I decided to put it on the part where the headlight and the frame connect. Seems to be working fine so far. I'll have to see how it all works out when the hoses are connected. Alright, so it's all done, everything is connected, everything seems to be running fine. The only problem I ran into is the hose is right here. This hose was in the way of the blow off, so all I did was just put a little bit of zip tie right here, just so it doesn't sit on right in front of the blow off. Honestly, this whole setup could have been a lot easier if it wasn't for the blow off being on the cold side, but hey, nothing zip tie can't fix. So that's pretty easy, aside from figuring out where to put the catch can because of the blow off that I have on the cold side. Is it better, this whole setup, than the expensive $175 catch cans? I can't really tell you, it's too early to kind of judge. I'll be using the catch can for about a month and I'll make another video, kind of my impressions on it, if I run into any problems, and we'll go from there. At the end of the day, it's your choice. You can pick whatever you want. You can spend the extra money on the expensive ones, or you can just buy the $50 ones from Amazon. Like I said, there's some things, in my opinion, that are worth spending a lot of money on. Obviously, some parts are you have to go and spend a good amount of money on them. But there are some other parts that, you know, not necessarily you have to drop $2 for a catch can. You know what I mean? That'll be all for today. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Take care. Lady, nobody wants ice cream. Let's go.